I'm very happy to get to see you all again in this video. So let us start our lesson with the objectives. So today it will be PALS 2 Unit 5 and the lesson will be on page 55 on vocabulary and listening. And as you can see here, the topic will be on science in the classroom. So there are two objectives here for the lesson today. First objective. Now before that, as you can see some some lab equipments over here. So objective 1, we are going to learn a set of words related to science. And as for objective 2, we shall listen for specific information. Yeah, so you need to listen carefully to what I say later after this. And before we start our lesson, alright, here's the little quiz that I would like to do with you. Well, as a warmer, as a starter for the lesson. So science in the classroom. So what are the different kinds of science that you can study here? So I put it down here on the left corner. As you can see, it's about science subjects. What kind of science subjects that we can study in school? Well, there are a few. If you happen to notice, first, can anybody try, to give me some example here? Alright, as you go to Form 4, yeah, you need to study some science subjects. Alright, for the science class, here the first one will be physics. The next one, what do you think? Here, as you can see, there's a BIO here. Can you figure out the word? I mean subject. Alright, so here, very simple, is biology. Alright, biology. Okay, so next, biology. So what about start with a C? H. Yes, chemistry. Alright, so chemistry. I should add another 2 or maybe 3. So we can also study, other than what we study in school, there are science subjects on botany. Right? It has something to do with the flora. And here's zoology. And one more, geology. Why do I keep writing AY? Okay, so alright, here are the 6 subjects. There are of course others, but here are some of the subjects that we can warm up with. So here, so we shall start our lesson right away. On page 55, here's the page, vocabulary and listening, science in the classroom. For exercise 1, listen and repeat the science words in the box. Alright, now let's read out the words here. Laboratory, test tube, thermometer, explosion, pressure, jug, gas, liquid, gravity, temperature, air, bubbles, acid, chemical reaction. So these 2 words, they are together. So let's take a look here. Now, in your exercise book, remember to write down the day and the date. Alright, so and then you write down PALS 2, page 55, and you write down vocabulary and listening. And of course, by the side here, practically there is no space here. So I'll just put down science in the classroom. Yeah, missed out that part. Alright, now as you can see, there is a number of equipments here which I have drawn let's take a look. Now, for the word laboratory, or when we say in short, lab, all right? So it's actually a room filled with science equipments where the scientists using them for experiment. So here, let's take a look. We have this. Okay, as you can see, what is test tube? This is test tube. All right, this is test tube. So I write down here, test tube. Okay, as for temperature, as you can see here, this is temperature. Yep. Ooh. This is the temperature. Now, don't get me wrong, right? It's not the equipment itself. Alright, it's not the equipment itself. It's as the temperature goes up. Alright, the equipment itself is called thermometer. The whole thing. Alright, the whole thing is called thermometer. I put it down here. Thermometer. Alright, thermometer. The whole thing. As the temperature goes higher, you can see the red dots here. So this is temperature. It goes up. Yeah, temperature goes up. Okay, next. What about explosion? As you can see, there is an explosion happen here. I mean, it bursts. It's not really explosion, but something burst. Yeah, so if the chemical reaction join together, sometimes there will be short or brief or small explosion. Depends on the amount of chemical that you put in and how wrong it goes about. Alright, next one. Pressure. Okay, now as you can see here, this guy, yeah, is using a kind of equipment that shoot out water to clean. You know, you can clean everything. I mean, you can clean cars, you can clean the floor. So this is a kind of pressure that they are using, so the water can be sprayed out. Can be used to to clean up the thing. All right, clean up. So this is super clean. All right. So pressure is here. So we need to use pressure. Yes. So the next thing, it will be jug. The word jug. So this is the jug. As you can see here, jug. Okay, next, gas. Well, if you have some kind of chemical reaction, normally there will be gas. Yeah, coming out, emitting. Yes, emitting. And it depends on, the odor, whether it smells good or not. But normally when it comes to chemical reaction, the smell doesn't give a good smell. Right, the next one will be liquid. As you can see, it's something like it can be water, it can be anything which can be spilled out and which can drips. So this is a kind of liquid. But what kind of liquid is that? No idea actually. Yes. Alright, this is just drawing. And as for gravity, as you can see from the table here, there's a ball rolling. So it's going to roll down. But how come it doesn't roll up, but it rolls down, not rolls up? So because of gravity, that is why it falls. Because of gravity. Alright, it's due to gravity. And the next one, it will be temperature. I've already explained temperature. Next, it will be air. Well, the air, alright, surrounding us. Air is some kind of, that we need. Yeah, human, everyone needs. So it's around us, some kind of, that kind of air. Alright, it's a bit difficult, which I can't draw here. Yeah. Okay, next, bubbles. As you can see the white dots here, you can see these are bubbles. And acid, well, acid is something very dangerous. You have to be very, very careful with that. So this is a kind of acid. There are all sorts of acid, of course. Yeah, and some can be very corrosive. So be very careful when you are dealing with acid. Yes. So, alright. So here is, well, exercise 1 is not done yet. There's one question that we need to ask ourselves. Okay, here, let's take a look. Which words are pieces of equipment that a scientist uses? Yep, so for scientists, well, let's take a look at the picture here. Scientists normally, they do use test tube. And the next thing, they do have, thermometer. And they also use jar. Yeah, jar. This is the things that they need to use. These are the words that you can also find in the box. Alright, so I'm going to write down the answer here. 1, test tube. 2, still remember what I mentioned just now? Thermometer. 3, jug. It has to be words that you can find in the box. Alright, because this is a beaker, but because they didn't mention in the box, so we don't write it down. So here are the 3 pieces of equipment, which is, stated in the box, which you can find. Alright, so there it goes for exercise 1. As for exercise 2, complete the instructions for a chemical experiment with words from the box. Then listen and check. Now take a look at the pictures here and the title, The Exploding Bag. Wow, a bag exploded. So can you imagine that? Wow, let's take a look over here. We are going to go through this together, yeah? In the school, you can try this fun experiment. You will need the following equipment. Now, in the school, where is the kind of place that you can actually do experiment in school? Definitely not in the classroom, and it won't be in the teacher's staff room. So where else? Is it in the open air? Well, the best place in school, of course. Every school should have that. We all have school laboratory where we can do fun experiment. So here 1 will be laboratory. So here I'm going to write down the answer. Alright, let's take a look at question 2. You will need the following equipment. A plastic bag with a zip. 2, a measuring. A plastic bag with a zip, a measuring word. Warm water, vinegar, baking soda. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 things that we need. 5 items. Yeah, 5 items. So here, a measuring. Well, I would say it's something that we can use to measure, right? So remember the kind of picture. What about this? Yes, you see the kind of measurement here? Yes, so we put it as jug. Alright, question 3. First, put 100 ml of warm water and 200 ml of vinegar into the bag. Question 3, of the water shouldn't be higher than 60 degrees Celsius. So 60 degrees Celsius. So the answer will have something to do with temperature. So here we write down temperature. So 60 degrees Celsius, right? Yeah, temperature. Not too high. So we write down temperature. Question 4. Next, add 3 spoons of baking soda to the bag of, well, to the bag of what? So what bag is this? It's containing liquid. So inside, it's a kind of liquid. Yeah, baking soda to the bag of liquid. So, well, what kind of liquid? Warm water plus vinegar. So it's a mixture of warm water and vinegar. So to the bag of liquid. Five. Well, there are 5 and 6 here. Alright, quickly close the bag with the zip. Why should we do that? Watch as a what? Called carbon dioxide is produced inside the bag. Can you see the question mark? So here, carbon dioxide, it is some kind of a gas. Yes, it is some kind of a gas. So watch as a gas called carbon dioxide is produced inside the bag. Now next, can you see there is a reaction when you mixed it all together. Is it the kind of chemical reaction? No, but I would say, can you see something like this here? If you don't mind, I'll just draw, because it is not very clear here. If I don't look closer, yeah, I wouldn't be able to see the bubbles too. So yeah, these are called bubbles. So can you see the bubbles? Alright, so 5 will be gas and 6 will be bubbles. And 7. Now here's the fun bit. The bag will get bigger and bigger until there is an whoo, boom. What does that call? Yes, explosion. It burst. Yes, well, this kind of explosion, you have to be very careful. Alright, so these are the answers, and before I go to the next exercise, I would like to show you this. This is another kind of experiment where you can experiment it yourself. It means baking soda, yeah, mixing with vinegar, and what will emit? Yeah, carbon dioxide will emit. I mean, it will be produced. It will come out. Yeah, we can produce carbon dioxide by mixing vinegar with just baking soda. Right? There's no water being mentioned here. So how are we going to do that? This is also quite fun if you can try this. This equipment here is called funnel. Funnel. Yeah, so we put in baking soda, some kind of powder, and this is the vinegar in liquid form. Alright, so vinegar add together, mixing with baking soda, and some kind of chemical reaction happens. And when we have to quickly cover the mouth of the funnel with a latex balloon. Yeah, make sure it's a latex balloon. And well, you can see that it fills up the balloon. Yes, it will get bigger and bigger. It's expanding. The balloon will expand. When it's big enough, not too big, it's time to pull it out of the mouth. Alright, but be careful. Make sure when you do this, you have an adult being with you. Be careful, because all this kind of experiment, well, can be dangerous if you don't know how to handle it properly. So make sure you have an adult next to you. Coming to exercise 3. Complete the sentences about the experiment with the words in the box. Let's read the words in the box together. Bubbles, thermometer, laboratory, gas, reaction. Right? So let's look at question 1. If you mix vinegar and baking soda, there is a chemical. So that's why I show you the picture just now, which I have drawn. Yes, so chemical reaction. This will be 1. Alright, so we write down reaction. Chemical reaction, it means when some kind of, powder and vinegar, two things mixed together, something happens, something changes. So 2, the mixture of vinegar and baking soda fizzes and produces. What does it produce? Well, it produces bubbles. So this will be 2. So we write down bubbles. Alright. Question 3. What, like carbon dioxide, needs a lot of space? Yes. What? Carbon dioxide. Again, what is this? It's a type of gas. So we write down gas. 3 here. Okay. 4. Experiments like these should be done in a safe environment, such as remember, the school laboratory. Alright, so this is 4. And the last one, alright, this is 5 definitely. 5. Check the temperature of water with a thermometer. So here it goes for exercise 3. Coming to exercise 4, listen to a science teacher carrying out a classroom experiment. Put the steps in order. So here I'm going to read an audio script for exercise 4 and also for exercise 5. So as you look at the pictures here, let's take a quick look at the pictures. There are 5 steps here: A, B, C, D, and E. Alright, and as for exercise 5, well, it is also based on the conversation. The conversation between the science teacher and his student. So go through exercise 5, the questions in exercise 5. Alright, so here 1, the teacher fills the glass with water. 2, he makes sure there is air inside the glass. 3, the water doesn't come out of the glass. 4, the experiment is successful. And 5, Emily's explanation is wrong. So you have to find out to listen carefully to the conversation and try to identify whether the sentences are true or false. And if it's false, you have to correct the false sentences. So now let's listen to the conversation here carefully. Alright, here it goes. Mr. Marston, if you turn a glass of water upside down, what happens? Simon, it goes all over the floor. Mr. Marston, that's right. Thank you, Simon. And why does it go all over the floor? Ruby, because water is heavier than air. Mr. Marston, exactly. And gravity makes the water fall. But that doesn't always happen. Here's a glass. Tom, can you fill it with water from the jug for me, please? Tom, yes, Mr. Marston. Here you are. Mr. Marston, thank you, Tom. So we have the jug and the glass. The only other equipment I need is this piece of cardboard. Now, I'm going to put this cardboard on top of the glass of water and turn it upside down. Then I'll take my hand away, but none of the water will go on the floor. Do you believe me? Students, no! Mr. Marston, okay, watch. Now, this is the difficult bit. When I put the cardboard on top of the glass, I have to make sure no air gets inside. If there are any air bubbles in the water, it won't work. Right, I think that's okay. Now watch. Look, I've taken my hand away and water has stayed in the glass. Amazing, isn't it? Students, Mr. Marston, okay, so can anyone explain why that happened? Why didn't the water go all over my feet? I'll give you a clue. It's to do with air pressure. Yes, Emily? Emily, well, because there was no air inside the glass. The air pressure from outside the glass was greater than the pressure of water inside the glass. That's why the water stayed where it was. Mr. Marston, exactly. Well done, Emily. Did you all get that? The reason the water stayed in the glass was because... Now the conversation ends there. It's time to get the answer. From you now. Alright, let's take a look here. Exercise 4. So what is the first step here? Let's start with E, alright? I should write down the answer with E. It shall give you a better idea. So it will be easier. So I start with E here, which is pouring water into the glass. Yes, the first step is the simplest. Alright, what about second step? Second step. What do you think is the answer? Okay, so Mr. Marston, remember, he said he put the cardboard on top of the glass and will make sure that no air gets inside. So here, well, is that the right one? Yeah, alright. So here on top, well, that will be D if I say put on top. Well, it has to be like this. So we start with E, right? Okay, and he says we have the jug and the glass and a piece of cardboard. So these are the equipment. Alright, so answer will be C. Okay, so that's how it goes. The next one will be D. Yes, he tried to put it on top of the glass now. And then the next one, what do you think? It will be A. Alright, it will be A. Yes, so his hand is still there. And the last one, he put away his hand. Yes, and the water doesn't come out. Alright, the water stays in the glass itself. Yeah, it stays in glass. So here the last one will be B. Alright, A, C, D, A, B. E are the steps. So E, C, D, A, B. Alright, now let's come to exercise 5. Question 1. Alright, here. 1. The teacher fills the glass with water. True or false? Who actually fill it up? Yes, it should be. Mr. Marston asked Tom, Tom, can you fill it with water from the jug for me, please? So here, false, because it is not the teacher, but it's Tom. So we need to write out the correct answer. You write out A for answer. Alright, so you write down Tom fills the glass with water. 2. He makes sure there is air inside the glass. Well, this question is pretty simple. Definitely is false because they need to make sure that no air gets inside. So this is false. And the correct answer, he makes sure there is no air inside the glass. Alright, now let's go to question 3. The water doesn't come out of the glass. Yes, of course. So it's true. Yeah, this sentence is true. Why? Because of the pressure. Yeah, that's why water doesn't come out of the glass. So yes, this is true. And 4, the experiment is successful. Definitely true. Right, because water didn't come out, didn't flow out. And the last question, Emily's explanation is wrong. Well, what do you think? The last one, and Mr. Marston say, exactly, well done, Emily. So her explanation is definitely correct. And so here we put down false. And the correct answer will be this. Practically, we just copy out the same thing and we just change 1 or 2 words there, or add in 1 or 2 words there. So we write down Emily's explanation is correct. As simple as that, class. Alright? So that's pretty simple. And this is the exercise for, these are the answers for exercise 5. Alright, if you have any questions, please drop me a message at the comment box. Alright, so I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and have a great day.